Carney's BBC interview as PM stuns viewers, Conservatives' two-year forecast shockingly realized. In a striking development, Mark Carney, the newly appointed Prime Minister of Canada and leader of the Liberal Party, has opted to engage with the BBC rather than traditional Canadian media outlets like CBC or CTV. This decision has sparked considerable debate around his leadership style and commitment to transparency. Carney's focus on international platforms to outline his policies, particularly regarding trade and climate change, raises eyebrows and invites scrutiny regarding his dedication to Canadian interests. Carney's decision to speak with a European outlet may suggest a calculated strategy aimed at shaping his image on a global stage. By opting for the BBC, he presents himself as a leader with an international perspective, potentially appealing to those who prioritize global engagement over domestic media narratives. However, this choice has led critics to argue that he is sidestepping the critical discussions that need to happen within Canada. Engaging with local media would not only foster accountability, but also allow him to address pressing national concerns directly. A significant issue underscored in recent political discussions is the representation of Western Canada in the national political framework. A visual representation of voter distribution by population reveals a stark contrast. While the West boasts a larger population, it remains underrepresented compared to regions like Atlantic Canada. This disparity poses urgent questions about the fairness and efficacy of the current electoral system. Many Canadians feel that their voices are not adequately heard, which could have implications for voter turnout and political engagement in future elections. As Carney navigates his role as Prime Minister, he is increasingly under the microscope from both media and the public. The political panel on CTV has sharpened its focus on his actions, suggesting that Canadians are keenly observing his every move. Carney's previous assertions about his political foresight are now being tested against the realities he faces. His ability to deliver on promises made during his campaign will be crucial in maintaining public confidence. Pierre Poilievre, leader of the Conservative Party, has been particularly vocal about the challenges that Carney is encountering. Poilievre's predictions from nearly 3 years ago regarding the shifting political landscape are now coming to fruition, as Carney's decisions and leadership style come under scrutiny. The Conservative Party is positioning itself as a credible alternative, emphasizing the need for a leader who prioritizes Canadian jobs and economic stability over a seemingly globalist agenda. This shift in focus is particularly relevant as Canadians grapple with rising costs of living and economic uncertainty. Poilievre's critiques of Carney's approach suggest that the Conservatives are ready to capitalize on any missteps, presenting themselves as champions of local interests and accountability. One of the most pressing concerns surrounding Carney's leadership is his approach to transparency and accountability. Unlike his predecessor, Justin Trudeau, who has been known for public engagements and accountability measures, Carney's preference for a more reserved style raises questions about his commitment to addressing the immediate concerns of Canadians. Critics argue that while climate policies and international trade agreements are undeniably important, they should not overshadow the urgent need for economic growth and job security domestically. Carney's reluctance to publish a daily itinerary has fueled accusations of evasion and secrecy. In a time when Canadians are facing economic challenges, this lack of transparency could erode public trust. The expectation is that a Prime Minister should be accessible and accountable, and Carney's current approach may do more harm than good in fostering public confidence. Carney's focus on global issues, particularly climate change and trade, has led to concerns about prioritizing international agendas over the immediate needs of Canadians. His recent comments regarding international trade agreements and carbon tariffs appear to align more with a globalist perspective, which many fear could undermine Canadian jobs and economic stability. As he discusses his vision for deeper integration with the UK and the EU, the question arises: whose interests is he serving? While Carney presents himself as a proponent of Canadian sovereignty, critics argue that his actions suggest a preference for policies that may benefit his previous affiliations, such as his ties with Brookfield Asset Management. This raises concerns about whether he is truly committed to the welfare of Canadian citizens or primarily focused on advancing a global finance agenda. As Mark Carney embarks on his tenure as Prime Minister, the political landscape in Canada is rapidly evolving. His recent BBC interview not only stunned viewers, but also illuminated the myriad challenges he faces in gaining the trust of the Canadian public. The scrutiny from the media and opposition parties is intensifying, and Carney's ability to navigate these challenges will be pivotal in determining his effectiveness as a leader. The coming months will be critical for Carney as he seeks to establish his leadership and address the pressing concerns of Canadians. With an election cycle approaching, voters will be watching closely to see whether Carney can translate his global vision into tangible benefits for Canadians. Meanwhile, Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party are well-positioned to challenge Carney's leadership. By advocating for a focus on local issues and accountability, they aim to resonate with voters who are increasingly concerned about economic stability and job security. In summary, Mark Carney's initial foray as Prime Minister is marked by significant scrutiny and high expectations. His choice to engage with international media, while potentially beneficial for his global image, raises questions about his commitment to domestic accountability. As the political landscape shifts, the focus will remain on his ability to deliver results that truly resonate with Canadians. The discourse around representation, transparency, and prioritizing local needs will shape the future of his leadership and the broader political environment in Canada.